welcome back to Discovering DataFlex with me, Johan Brodfeld. Today we are continuing our Argus project and we are looking at design. Last time we did this form combo that we could add attributes to our resource. And today we're going to make this view here look a little bit usable. This is kind of gray, boring buttons, even though if they do good stuff, I'm not sure that we want it to look like this. So we're going to embark on my favorite topic, styling in DataFlex. First of all, we need to create a CSS file, and we want to put that in our app.html folder. We're just going to go with the default notation, application.css, though I often prefer main.js for a project. But let's keep it basic. And in our web HTML list, we would like to style this area here. So we're going to add some classes and so on. For instance, the table. I'm just going to type HTML list and class HTML list label for the label, and then these buttons I would like to have a class called HTML list btn, and the same for the delete one, except this one also should have the class red. Now let's go over to the CSS, and I actually have prepared some CSS, so I don't have to rewrite everything again. I'm just going to copy it in here. So we have some padding on the HTML TD to get some air into the table. And the label, I want to set the font a little bit smaller and set a slight gray color so that it's a little bit toned down. The button has a default color and border. No border actually. Yeah, so since it's 0, we don't actually need it here either. So we only need the colors. And we have some padding and spacing to make the size of the buttons readable. And also on the hover, we want to add a cursor. And if the HTML button is red, we want some different colors on it. So that is what this CSS is doing. But it's not working yet. We also need to include it into our source file. And there are two ways you can do this. There is a function, virtual HTML, where you can more or less add the entire body of the string. We can see if there's some documentation for this, because you probably want to know exactly what's included in here. No, it doesn't really say, but you can put basically anything that will replace this default functionality in here. Maybe if we go to definition. Yeah, here it is. So you should probably copy this if you're going to use it. And then you can change anything that you want to change. Or you can do what we will do in this project, because we just want to include the script. Procedure on define include scripts and procedure. And how does this work? It's just a string that's sent in by ref. So we want to copy this. And we do not want to have all of these included because this is not the project we're working on here. Style sheet, application CSS. So and here I just added version 3, but it seems like it's reading the cache, so you don't really need versions on it in a Flextron application. So if we run the application now, it should actually be working. We should read this. Oh, while we're here, we might also want to just change the default my project to Argus so that we get a little cleaner text in there. So now it says Argus up here. We might also go as far as to change it even more. But now you can see we have some spacing and padding and everything. It might actually be a little bit too much space between the rows, so we want to look at that. But you can see when hovering, the color of the buttons change and everything. Yeah, so by front IoT, and let's see, we have the TD, we have padding, and this is a little bit too much, I think. So we're only going to do padding left and padding right. Let's see what that looks like, because we might have some additional spacing on other elements. Yeah, that's, yeah. Question is, did it cache the, let's try this. See if anything changes. No, now I would like to see the, yeah, this is probably a good idea to add an additional button for testing. Developer tools. Is there anywhere in this system anything? DevTools. PBR DevTools enabled. Yes, true. Context menu. True. But is that enough? F12. Huh. Nice. So now we can just press F12 and we get the tools menu. So let's go into resources and then see what we have here. Elements. Inspect. Button. Yeah, there's a lot of margin on the buttons. That's what's doing a lot of this. So maybe if we keep that at 0.2 as well. Good question, what would work? Yeah, this is probably fine. Now we rerun this. Yeah, that looks better. And that's all I wanted to show for this video, and I hope you got some useful information out of this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.